name is Ray Downey Sr. I'm a battalion chief with the fire department of the city of New York.
New York Fire Deputy Chief Ray Downey Sr. was a man with many names.
But I didn't know how well respected he was, until somebody started calling me Jesus. And I was trying to correct him in the beginning, that's not my name. And he said, no, you are the Son of God, right?
Across the nation, Downey was notorious for his methods of mastering disaster, a pioneer in urban search and rescue programs. And even on the worst day in American history, Downey was still giving his best.
And a lot of people have said, if it wasn't Ray Downey ordering me, I would not have left.
Deputy Chief Downey was last seen outside of the Twin Towers helping people to safety. And 23 years later, his son, Joe Downey, the FDNY's Chief of Rescue Operations, is still telling the story of his dad's dedication, not only to New York, but also Oklahoma.
This is Oklahoma City.
Yeah. On April 19, 1995, just 12 hours after a bomb went off in downtown Oklahoma City, Ray and his urban search and rescue crew took command in a desperate search for survivors.
I'm glad that he had the opportunity to help the Oklahoma, and I got the right person to lead them out there.
The New York native caught the eye of former Oklahoma Governor Frank Keating, who gave him a rosary that Ray kept long after leaving the Sooner State.
And Governor Keating came with two of them that day, one for him, Governor Keating, one for my dad. And he always wore it. Yeah. He did always wear that, and it was probably somewhere on his person that he had it when he was killed.
One of New York's sons, adopted as an Oklahoma legend. But for Joe, he's still just Dad.
Yeah, Is that the face you don't ignore when they tell you to do something?
Yeah, nobody ignores it, no.
Reporting in New York City, Victoria Anderson, Gaylord News. From spirited screams to stunning silence.
When we went out on campus this morning, it was very silent, very solemn.
Overnight, the Howard University community saw history fall just out of reach for one of their own.
To the young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed. But please know it's going to be okay.
Right now, I'm still just in a lot of shock.
And as red rolled over the map Tuesday night, supporters stood paralyzed, praying for a less purple Pennsylvania.
I thought she was going to come out last night.
And as the sun rose over Donald Trump's new America, supporters went back to Howard to hear how they should move forward.
We're hoping for closure. We're hoping for some semblance of hope.
While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
I think it's important to show that we're still here and we're still fighting every day for our democracy.
The Howard community showing up for their alumna, both on what could have been her best day, but what became her worst.
And I love you back. And I love you back.
Reporting from Howard University, Victoria Anderson, Gaylord News.
Trump's triumphant win this November left many Americans with questions, even some they maybe should have asked before casting their vote.
Trump's tariff plan includes a 10 to 20% tariff on all imported goods, and countries like China might even see an additional tariff of up to 60 to 80%.
Right, but what is a tariff? Dr. Johnson?
Essentially, a tariff is a tax on imported goods.
Right, but can you explain it like I'm in class?
Well, let's say, you're going to buy a t-shirt.
You can buy it from a U.S. provider, or you can get it from China for $5. So if those shirts are the same, 20 or 5, you're like, hey, let's buy the $5 one. That's a great deal. If a tariff suddenly were to be put in place, and now, that $5 shirt becomes $30, now your choices are $20 US shirt or $30 imported shirt. Well, I guess I'll buy the $20 one, but I'm not really happy about it.
Got it. I think I understand. But what about Oklahoma? How will this impact our industries?
If we were to put a tariff on China, there is a very high likelihood they'll put a tariff back on us. And we send a lot of soybeans and a lot of beef to China, which means that all these farmers that are producing soybeans, producing beef, now they don't have somewhere to sell it to.
Right. So even though the idea can be hard to understand, the impacts aren't.
Economists predict an over 3% rise in grocery prices, which just means more searching for answers. Class dismissed. Reporting in Washington, D.C., Victoria Anderson, Gaylord News.